Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everyone doing? Thank you for joining us here tonight on Health Talk. Health Talk is a part of He Cares Training and Education Center, where yours truly, Dr. Corbett, is the program director, and Dr. Deidre Willis is our project manager. We are so thankful that you have taken time out of your busy schedule to join us here on Health Talk, where we provide you with health education and health information on all things pertaining to health. Here on Health Talk, we do occasionally have live guests that present on a specific health topic or just to have a discussion in general. Again, we are indeed thankful that you took the time to join us here tonight on Health Talk. Tonight, we're going to talk about a subject matter that I feel is of importance and that we need to have a discussion about it. It is certainly a public health concern, and I find it befitting to take a few minutes of your time so that we can have this discussion regarding this subject matter. All right, so let's get right into our presentation. And remember, during our presentation, uh, if you so choose, you can leave us a comment. Just write your comment, and we'll be able to see your comment and provide you a response within real time. All right, so let's begin here. So, the thing we're going to talk about tonight is the silent struggle. We're going to talk about youth, the young adults, young people, and the effect that uh, mental health is having on our young adults. Uh, like I say, this is a subject matter that I feel that needs to be discussed because we do have a lot of young people, young adults, young teens who are struggling with certain mental issues, suicidal issues. They're dealing with depression and such as the like. So we want to take a little few moments and provide you just a little talk and just have a little discussion about the matter. So right now in the United States, millions of young people are battling something you can't see. And they're dealing with anxiety, they're dealing with depression, they're dealing with suicide issues, and, and it's at an all time high. And the worst part is that many of them are suffering in silence. In other words, they're dealing with these issues and not even saying anything to anyone. So they're trying to cope with these issues, this depression, they're coping with the suicide ideation. They're doing it in silence, meaning they're keeping it to themselves and not having that discussion with anyone, which in turn makes matters worse. Now, this is the youth mental health crises. Now, the numbers don't lie. In just the past decade, the rate of anxiety and depression in young people are skyrocketing. And according to the CDC, Center for Disease Control, suicide is now the second leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 10 and 24. Let that sink in. Let's say it again. According to the CDC, suicide is the second leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 10 and 24. That is something to really stop and think about it. As we said earlier, they're dealing with this in silence. They're trying to deal with it internally, which makes matters worse. All right? So just think about that. Teen suicide rates are climbing. Depression among young or youth are doubling. Social media and mental health concerns, all of these are on the rise. So, what's happening? Why is this generation struggling more than ever before with depression, anxiety, and suicide ideation? And most importantly, what can we do about it? What can we do about it? Stick around, because today we're diving deep into this crisis. And by the end of this video, or the end of this podcast, you'll know how you can be a part of the solution. All right? So just hang in here with us. We got something for you. Now, let's talk about understanding the crisis. The rise in teen depression rate between 2010 and 2025 has risen astronomically. Okay, so these are the facts. According to the National Institution of Mental Health, nearly 1 in 5 adolescents in the United States have experienced a major depressive episode. Think about that. 1 in 5 adolescents in the United States have experienced a major depressive episode. Anxiety disorder affects over 31% of adolescents at some point in their lives. And between 2011 and 2021, emergency room visit for suicide attempt among teenage girls increased by nearly 50%. Okay? So that's something to think about. The rate of depression and the rate of suicide among adolescents and teenagers between 2010 and 2025 has risen astronomically and continue to rise. So this is something that we need to stop and think about. This is something we need to take a look at why this is happening. And again, what can we do to help curtail this rise? So the first thing is we must understand the crisis. One particular expert says we are seeing an unprecedented rise in mental health issues among young people. This is not just normal teenage angst. It's something much bigger, fueled by a combination of social or societal, environmental, and digital influence. This is what the experts are saying. This is evidence-based, that this increase in depression, this increase in anxiety, this increase in suicide among adolescent and teen are due to societal issues, environmental issues, and even digital influence. These are some of the things that are fueling this increase in anxiety.